Please like and comment below and subscribe and share for more first-person encounters.
Flying ray-shaped cryptid, Virginia. I like to take my dog out on late-night walks around 10 or 11, sometimes even later. It's nice for me because I love the night, and nice for my dog because it's not too hot for him. He has thick black fur. We sometimes see creepy stuff at night, like roadkill or strange animals, but usually the neighborhood is very peaceful. One night, however, was a bit different. I was walking the dog up a hill, and I noticed that he perked up quite a bit, and was quietly woofing and panting in the direction of a house about 40 feet up the street. I looked up and saw this strange, large, hazy white thing rapidly circling around the house. It was white, and was flapping, I think, but not in a way that a bird would. The creepy thing about this is how hazy the memory has become. I know it wasn't a dream, because I clearly remember the rest of the walk and coming back home very confused and scared. Anyway, my dog is pulling me towards whatever it is, as it circles the house about 10 or 15 times and disappears behind the house. Somehow I don't remember, I'm not sure. When I say this thing was big, I mean it. It was definitely about 1 meter tall vertically, and maybe less than 1 foot wide. It seemed to be flapping, but with its wing facing the ground so it's on its side. It definitely wasn't a bag, because it repeatedly circled the house in these wide swoops. The best answer I can give is a disabled albino megabat that decided it would cruise around a random suburban house and then disappear. What gets me is how hazy it looked, like it didn't have a definite form, as if it was blurred at the edges. And off, grainy white it was, swooping around and around in the dark. What could it have been? Added. So it's looking like it might be a white ray, the seed-dwelling kind, cryptid, which is really weird, but it definitely fits the bill. Or a kite, like my brother kept repeating. Who knows, I'm going to walk the dog now so I'll be on the lookout. A bit more information, I'm in the general area where the cryptid has been sighted.
New flying manta ray sighting, Lynchburg, Virginia. I was taking a picture of the pretty night farmland at night. The dark mountains and the blue sky with the lights of the farmhouses lit up here and there. It was a beautiful scenic shot. When I looked back on the back of the camera to see what I'd gotten, and if I wanted to try another angle, there was a pink drape hanging down close in the air. Because I have hundreds of pictures over the past 3 years in this entire viewing area, I was amazed but not surprised when something was there, but the object was something I hadn't exactly gotten before. I have, however, gotten 3 other cloaking or shields in the last 2 months. One was a huge triangle of light over the mountain, and the other 2 looked like a thick bed sheet doubled over hanging in the air. You can see the fold where the back on one side is off from the front. I showed that to the local MUFON guy. I didn't see the object with my eyes, so by the time I saw it on the camera it wasn't there. I don't know how or where it disappeared. However, I then took pictures of the night view in the opposite direction, and got the neighbors double-lighted 2 lampists in their drive.the first came out perfect, and then the next I got a very strange contortion of lighting. It formed a thin see-through substance in the form of a tent, and the top folded over like a 4-fold envelope. Both of these images can be seen on the local Skywatchers Facebook site. There are about 18 people who join together to share the stuff we see. Several of us have cameras, and we are getting a lot of the same stuff as far as various bright lighted balls in a lot of colors. Sometime alone, other times join with 1 to 5 others.
Flying ray-shaped cryptid, Atascocita, Texas. My husband and I were grilling out in our backyard one Sunday afternoon approximately 5 p.m. a month ago, when a Pacific blue, in color, stingray-looking bird flew over our home. Must have been 1.5 to 2 feet in length and width. We were actually sitting and conversing when it caught our attention. It looked down at us and continued flying. We live in Atascocita, Texas. We were in shock as we've never seen anything like it before. We both looked at each other and a couple seconds later asked what the heck was that. It disappeared into trees and I have not seen it since.
Unknown flying entity in San Marcos. The encounter occurred on July 6, 2005 at about 11:30 p.m. I had a long day in San Diego, then afterward going to the beach at Del Mar for some surf fishing. I arrived at my home in San Marcos about 11 p.m. After cleaning my fish and showering, I was very tired. I went out to my carport for a smoke and a look at the night sky. I looked north, thinking about a recent UFO sighting and wondering what it's all about. In the distance, at a couple hundred feet, I saw a faintly visible moving object that flitted from side to side. Whatever it was, it reflected light from the street lights. Its side-to-side movement was so quick, I couldn't tell if it was one object or two. The object then zipped directly over my neighbor's house across the street. By this time, I was certain I'd never seen anything like it. It continued to move side to side, in a space of approximately 50 feet. It then stopped and I observed it more clearly. It may have had big eyes and wing-like appendages, and was probably 2 to 3 feet in width. It remained still and I could see wavering reflections from its wings which were not beating like a bird's, but showed shimmering reflections from the street lights. I felt the hair on my head rise all the way down my back to my ankles. It appeared to be looking at me as I smoked my cigarette. I felt threatened and said out loud, "I see you." Then it went from stationary to out of sight, right over my head in an instant. I came out from under my covered carport and turned to follow its movement. Immediately, it zipped into view directly above my head, obviously studying me. I could see really weird, large and intensely dark eyes. It seemed surprised by my looking right at it. It didn't like being seen. My apprehension rose even higher. It turned away and disappeared like a shot. It had a bird-like shape, but was thicker. My impression was of reflections of the streetlights on wing-like appendages and big dark eyes. It wasn't a bird, bat, or any familiar nocturnal creature. Its movements did not seem explicable in comparison to any creature that flies by beating its wings. The hills and mountains are so rugged and inaccessible near my home that anything could remain hidden and make nighttime forays at will. I read about thunderbirds, but I'm not sure if this was one of these.
Another flying ray-shaped cryptid? Palmdale, California. Hello, my name is Michelle from Palmdale, California. My friend and I witnessed an unusual creature last night that had us both confused and creeped out. It was around 3:30 to 4 a.m. We were hanging outside on my friend's driveway, and we saw this big bright white creature swoop from his neighbor's roof and with great speed flew in a tree and disappeared. It happened so fast we didn't get the chance to really get a good look to this strange creature's details, but from what we saw shocked us both. It caught our attention on how fast it shot into the tree and how bright white it looked. We both can swear that it didn't have wings. I tried researching a bright white bird seen at night, and the nearest possibility for what I saw was a flying ray-shaped cryptid. But the only thing I have some doubt is because its speed was so fast that it looked like a bullet shooting into the tree. I wish I could know what it was because I could honestly say it was abnormal. A creature that seems out of this world. I'll never forget it. It's a mystery I hope one day can be solved.
This is Lon Strickler. If you like this program, it would help us if you would give it a thumbs up. Then subscribe and click the bell icon so you get notification when we upload new first-person encounters. We have many more to come very soon. And by the way, if you have a suggestion or an experience of your own, please leave a comment.